Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm doing this at night, but you'll get it in the morning. Okay, let's go over the cover page. Your cover page, your running head, which I didn't ask you to write. I asked you to write your topic and your focus. In all caps means all capitalize, and the page number on the right side at the top. This is done in heading. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this later on, but this is in heading. And this is going to appear in each one of your pages. Every page, this is a terrible line that I drew. Okay, let me see if I can get it better. If I can do better. Okay. I don't know. I'm not very good, I guess, with this. I'm going to erase it again. But you get the idea. This is, now I did a straight line. Okay, let me try again. Okay, almost straight. This is going to appear in all your pages. It should have appeared in your chapter one or your topic. Okay? Your chapter one, as I called it, I should have said topic one. I'm sorry. It's your first topic in your thesis statement. If you're going to talk, we revised thesis statements since the very beginning of the semester. And we said that if we use butterflies, and we said that butterflies, um, okay, for example, butterflies are beautiful, are colorful, small or big, or they depend on their origin according to size, whatever that might be, that's our first topic. Now, since I'm not an expert in butterflies, my introduction, I have to do some reading. And if we read and we're going to use some of the information, we have to paraphrase. But even paraphrasing, we have to tell where did we get this idea from? I don't know how many species of butterflies there are in Puerto Rico, and I'm guessing most of you don't. So that all depends on exactly what you're going to do, but everything has to be an introduction. You're going to give us background on your topic, on your topics. If you're talking about butterflies, if you're talking about global warming, if you're talking about marijuana, you're going to tell us what is marijuana, where does it come from. Maybe some people will actually include how does it grow, how many, what's the growing time. Maybe 3 months, 6 months. So does it need a lot of water? Does it need shade? All that information should be there. And then if you're talking about your first topic is that it's you can use it for medical purposes. Well, then you include what purposes would it be used for patients who have cancer patients. There's other diseases, and you divide your topics, but you're not an expert in marijuana. At least I don't think so. You're not an expert at cancer. You're not an expert at this point in your life of practically anything. Experts are the people that sit down like they're doing now with the virus. Scientists, people that are experts with viruses, they're studying how can we stop the damage that this is doing to the world. But these are people that are experts. Let's say they're an experts in virus. Maybe you talk to them about butterflies and they don't know a thing about butterflies, but they do know something about um, viruses. Okay. Also, if you look at this page, it's not going to look exactly the way I asked you to give me a moment, please. Just a little. Sorry about that. I was turning off my phone because sometimes I forget to do that, and then it rings in the most inappropriate times. Okay, there you go. And since everybody's at home, I don't think I have to worry about anything else. Well, your thesis statement goes here, and your name. And I talked about this doesn't have. It doesn't have. It should have, but it doesn't have submitted as a partial requirement to English 231 at the very bottom. And this submitted as a partial requirement for English 231 does not appear in all the pages. It only appears in this one. Okay, I'm going to show you the next slide is about abstracts. I don't know if I can make this bigger or not. I have no idea. I have no idea. Well, maybe if we, let me see if I can, well, I'll do it on the next page. Okay, an abstract is what you found out about your topic, your general topic, marijuana, cancer, global warming, and what are the results. It should be no longer than 13 sentences. And if you look closely, it's double space. You can see right here, and I'm going to put it in red. I think I have in red, it's double spaced. Okay, double spaced. So abstract is like it's similar to the conclusion. You do it at the very end. Well, you're not supposed to know what your results are going to be before you actually finish what you're supposed to be doing. And there's no excuses now because um, most of you are not working now. Most of you, I don't know how many are working, but also the university is closed, so you're not going to classes. And if you went to classes from the very beginning and you followed up through the, let's say, I don't know when classes were called off, to the middle of March, we had almost covered everything that is supposed to be included. You have in your assignments or activities and tasks, you have lots of examples there, but you're lazy. You want me to explain them. And that even at the beginning when we were actually in the same classroom, I never did that. You were supposed to do that. Okay? So let's go on to the third one. In this case, this example doesn't have a table of contents, but we worked with table of contents in the classroom. We did. And there is a very good short YouTube video on table of contents. And if you have the 2016 version of Microsoft software, it's so easy, it's pitiful. If you don't, you have to do it. Now you have to watch. You don't have spaces, uh, too long spaces. Doesn't go in color. It has no color and no bold. Okay, Times New Roman 12 regular. That's it. Okay, let's look at the third page. Now, the third page says your title goes here. This is your introduction. This is your first page introduction. And it says your first paragraph is your introduction. It should have a hook, which is something to get your readers interested. It needs to have several sentences with connecting information that leads to the thesis statement in some way. Everything is double spaced, like this example. Remember, each paragraph must have a general topic sentence which supports the thesis statement. Now you can begin to give information, facts, details. I didn't do this one either. I was trying, but I couldn't. I thought I had put it on the activities and tasks. I'm sorry, I had not. But I think this one, I'm not sure, is it doesn't have a name, but I'm going to give credit. I think this is Dr. Philip Murray's. He made this up some time ago. Okay. Remember to use one or two citations per paragraph. According to Cruz, 2007, blah, 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 blah. Talk about what did Cruz say. You're paraphrasing. But you go on and you on and you on and you write like if you were specialist. You're not specialist. You're going to try and get specialists. Somebody included in their work a blog that is not a reliable source. Reliable sources are not web pages or a blog. That's not a reliable source. Reliable sources are found in the library on topics about your information. And I even Google Scholar, which is easier to get to. So please try that. In the same paragraph, it is also suggested by Martinez, 2009, that Doris Rivera is having a very hard time correcting what supposedly she taught at the beginning of the semester, and her students are still making mistakes. Yeah, that's what I said. Then you continue with your next paragraph. Most of you have not divided your your introduction into paragraphs. Continue with your next paragraph and topic sentence and follow the example given above. Okay? Um, the idea of using it's not written there. The idea of using textbooks in classes has been debated and and in debated and research no, has been debated in many forums, and the research by Jones and Peterson on I didn't complete. Oh yes, I did. 2006 determined that students should study more, should have textbooks. Now everything is online, which is not so bad considering. Um, and you demonstrate what did they determine? Okay, Richardson, 2010 states, see the following, and you can also say according to Richardson, 2010 states that you should listen to your teacher. I know this is a very difficult time we're all going through. Believe me, it's difficult. You can't go to the supermarket. I can't go to the supermarket. And I feel weird. I have to put my mask on. I have to put my gloves on. And even so, then come back and take your clothes off, put them in the washer. But let's finish the semester. We can do it. We're going to finish this semester and we're going to do good. But pay attention. Some students did not, let's say, were absent quite a bit. And those students, this is going to be very difficult for them, very difficult. And I also want to remind you that I've been sitting, now it's 20 to 10 p.m. And I've been sitting here since, let's say, since 1, I took a break for like an hour and a half. I've been sitting here for many hours correcting. I have 4 groups that are now all online. And before, I would put something online and we would discuss it in class. And then you would do an assignment and that was it. But now I have to also prepare a class, which I'm not used to doing with nobody in attendance. So it's not going to be easy for anyone. It's not easy for anyone. Um, just so you know, I also, I cook, I clean, I wash clothes. Um, I have friends. People call me. My children call me. Also, I have family. Um, I shop. I shop online, but I have to pick it up. I have to go to the drugstore. So what am I telling you? I'm telling you that I'm not here sitting at the computer 24/7. After I finish correcting one group, I close that group. I don't look at it anymore. When I'm finished with that one, and when I'm finished with Blackboard, I close Blackboard until the next day. But most of you know that I do answer. Saturdays and Sundays, I'm being a little selfish. And even I think on Sunday I was in for very few. But I do have to take a day off and do other things that not just sit at my computer. So please don't think that because you sent me an email, I'm going to respond 10 minutes later. That's not the way it works. You send an email when I open Blackboard, I will answer your emails. I answer all of them. Okay, so this is what I mean when I tell you give credit. Give credit. We talked about this, citations. Okay? But you actually have to do some research. Um, I ask you to, okay, let's go on. Let's see. This is a very, it's going to be very short. Okay? And you continue with the next paragraph. And according to Cruz in 2009, this is what he said. And you paraphrase. He said that education is a tool for the masses to reach their ultimate goal and become better citizens in general for the country, and now it's worldwide. Okay. Okay. We as you as university students and me as a professor, let's say we're supposed to be better equipped than the general population to understand what's going on and to follow rules and regulations. Okay, and then it continues and it gives you many examples. Okay, and then in the next one where it says continue the next paragraph and topic sentence, he says an expert in what? An expert in cars, an expert in education, an expert in um, pollution or environmental issues. Let's see what other examples we have. Is an expert in ballet. In ballet, is an expert in. I have one student in one of my class that he's I haven't heard from him in quite a while, but he was writing his paper and he probably will finish it, and it was about the relationship, the political relationship between the United States and the Arab states. Very interesting historical perspective. So all this goes together. Oh my. So it gives you additionally, look at all an expert states also concluded. This is what I mean when I tell you to cite, because you're not experts. You will be maybe experts in one area, let's say in education or as a doctor in emergency patients or a cardiologist or an engineer, a civil engineer. You will be an expert in that in the future. Okay? The evidence shows that because you've read, and the evidence show that one of the techniques that uh, ballet dancers have causes a lot of pain and sometimes can cause their feet to be deformed. And I've read about it, but I'm not a specialist. I can't remember why. And it's probably the position that it puts, and it probably mentions the bones that should not be made to function that way because we weren't made to be ballet dancers. So you put strain on your feet, which is one of the most. It has, I think, 216 bones, and it's an important part of our. We use them for everything, like our body, but our feet are really important. Okay, and then says Carter or Melendez suggest, sugiere tal y tal cosa. Okay, presents strong evidence of something that this person has written, has said, has done. And re- look at the heading. You still have, and this is only the introduction. Your topic sentence should be almost identical. You have to have your running head at the very, very top. And you should have, I should know what you're writing about. You're writing about electric cars, or you're writing about um, the other kind of cars. Let's say you're writing about cars that use gasoline. I don't know the definition, the correct definition between them both, but I have to know what you're right. I could then you start to put sentences together that I don't really understand, and it's very difficult, very, very difficult for me at least. And then, okay, so this format is for your introduction, for your topic or chapter number one, for chapter number two, and chapter number three. We still have the month. We still have April. You have this month to be able to finish this and get your references together and type your paper. I don't know if you see, I sometimes I write on your papers. I don't know if you see your papers again. I have no idea. I should have asked you that. I didn't. And if you somebody listens and can tell me if you do see what I make circles about, sometimes it's grammatical, sometimes I'm saying, where is this from? Where did you get this? This is what I'm talking about. You have to give credit. Okay, in conclusion, you restate your thesis and major points here. You may also talk about future follow-up study, implications of the study, and/or limitations of the study. For example, the student that I was mentioning about 2 or 3 minutes ago, the student that was doing this really interesting project about the political relationship between the United States and the Arab states. Maybe that person expected to find out something, but in the course of his research, because it's a young man, of his research of his research, he finds out that it's not the way he thought it was. That could be. Sometimes you start by you establish a thesis statement and you're going to try and prove your point, but sometimes when you go you can't prove your point. Okay, what are the implications of this? I have another student in one of my classes that is writing about a safe environment at work, and sometimes for women, sometimes what impedes or what is against women having a safe environment at work. And she's also mentioning the factors. And in all this, we can't forget that there's also, let's say, uh, cultural factors. Okay, cultural factors. When we talk about um, men, Puerto Rican men, or Cuban men, or Dominican men, which are sometimes, not all. You compare the attitudes of one of these males with an attitude, let's say, of a young male that lives in New York, for example, and culturally, it's going to be totally different because women are viewed. Also in Spain, women have really fought hard for all the things that they have been entitled to as a result. But I'm not going to write the paper for the young lady, and I have no such ideas. And this is a conclusion. This is what you should include. This is a page. It's maybe 10 sentences, 12 sentences. It's not much. Okay, and then remember you're still missing here your table of contents page, and you should put the title on your topic one. Let's say oceans. Somebody became very interested in the the handouts that we had at the beginning of the semester with the plastic in the oceans. Oh, you're going to use that, fine. I have no problems with that as long as you look for further information. It is a very fascinating topic, also, and a new topic, let's say. Okay, and then we have at the very end, which has been giving you so many problems, and I can't understand why, because there is also a way to do it on Word. You put the information there, and Word does it for you. You tell Word that you need it in app style, and it actually does it for you. But as a um, you so you there's a sample also. Okay, this is what APA. Let's see. Music. That's the title. Music as a device of implicit learning and recall. I can't tell. I don't. Let me put my glasses on. Oh my God, this is the bad stuff. Okay, and you have the effects of music instruction on phonemic awareness in beginning readers, and you have the Journal of Research in Music Education. It's in italics, and sometimes you don't do that. And it's also this is a internet. As soon as I touched it, it turned blue. Okay, so there basically is what I expect you to do. It's not that difficult. Coming next week, let's say you finished your chapter. Okay, your assignment for Thursday until next Tuesday is probably topic number 2. Now, I gave you, or I'm going to give you, um, uh, let's say 2 attempts. After this, which is, I'm really sorry that I said look at the research paper, the example. But this is what I expect to see in your work. This is what I expect to see. And it's not that hard. If you chose your topic well and you chose your thesis statement, it should be pretty easy. It should be pretty easy. Okay, and if you have any questions, um, well, just email me. And probably, maybe this coming Thursday, we'll be meeting. Let's see if I can do it. If we can do it, we'll meet on class at this classes that are at 8:30, so that you don't have to get up. And I will also include this in the YouTube that I sort of prepared for people that don't have a computer. That at least that you can listen to it. And I'm very sorry that things have gotten out of control, and especially for you. And I hope your family and everybody is healthy and good, and you're not having you don't have anyone sick in your family. But this is, I think, one thing that Maria and the earthquakes and now this situation has taught us, that your life can change in a second. 1 second is all you need. 1 second. Okay, be safe, and we'll see. I'll probably, some of you will be able to see it tomorrow at 8 in the morning. Be safe. Bye.